Next, we're going to ask Tim Noble to come up, Schoolcraft County, going for Schoolcraft County Prosecutor.
Go, Tim.
Just like court. Good evening, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tim Noble, and I was appointed Schoolcraft County Prosecutor back in May. I graduated from law school in January of last year, became prosecutor a couple months later to complete the term of the retiring Pete Hollenbeck. I'll be seeking to be elected to that position again this year. My wife and I moved here to Manistee about almost 10 years ago now. She was offered a position at the hospital. We weren't sure what to think when we first moved here, but I can honestly say we're never going to move. In March of 2003, I started working in the court system. I spent 4 years there, worked in the juvenile court, worked in the district court, eventually became the juvenile officer for the county. It was during that time that the rule of law really started to pique my interest. In 2004, I was elected to city council. Shortly thereafter, I see Sheila Aldrich is here, became city manager. We did a lot of projects together. She's great for our community.
Amen.
She is.
I was active with the City Recreation Department. I was active on the Youth Council. I'm currently active in the St. Francis de Sales School and various other local committees and organizations. Having been a lawyer for such a short time, let's face it, less than a year, I've learned a lot in my first year as prosecutor, more than I dare say most of the lawyers have ever learned.
What do you mean?
I'm still finding my own way. I kept a lot of the former prosecutors' policies and procedures. I've started to change some of them. I'm trying to take an individual approach to each and every case because no matter what, no two cases are exactly the same. They may appear that way on the outside to those of you that read about a case in the media. And they never are. If I don't do this, I may treat one accused too harshly and one accused too leniently. That's not the right thing to do. If you do that, I could make a policy that would say, if you do X, I'll do Y, or whatever. But I don't think that's the right thing to do because I've always said when I was in city council, when I was in the court, when I've been on these other agencies, is that just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. And I think that's something that all of our state legislators and our federal and even at our local level need to keep in mind. You have a great power to do a lot of various things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you should. One area that I'm really trying to improve in this court is the area of technology. I know most of you don't know former Prosecutor Hollenbeck, but my computer that I first received when it got there, I think was powered by a hamster. I went around in there. I tell you, I like Pete. He was a great guy. I've been told that by switching to computer-based research instead of the traditional law library, that it'll save the county thousands of dollars every year, and I hope that'll continue. I think that former commissioners can recognize that when I was on the juvenile court, that I did a lot to save this county a lot of money in various different funds. I plan to continue that as the prosecutor wherever I can to save the county money, but not at the expense of justice. Here's what I can promise to all the residents of this county. First, that nobody will work harder than I will. Nobody will work more diligently than I will. I'll fight for justice for the victims of crimes. I'll be available to assist whenever proper the citizens of this community. And I'll maintain the highest ethical standards. But perhaps most importantly, I will, to the best of my ability, continue to properly enforce the rule of law within Schoolcraft County. 2012 is an important year. We Republicans had the opportunity to expand our majority in the House of Representatives and the Senate, and of course, take back the presidency. I feel best best way that we can do this is by focusing on what makes us different and, in my opinion, philosophically better than Democrats. Reducing taxes in order to promote business growth, in turn leading to an overall increase in wealth and jobs. Adherence to a strict interpretation of the Constitution. That Constitution has propelled this nation to be the shining light for freedom in the world. Limited government, especially at the federal level. Limiting the spending of the federal government. If we keep those things in mind, we can and we will win those other positions. I thank you all for coming here tonight, and I hope to see many of you out on the campaign trail in the months to come. Thank you.